good morning everybody from a strange little town called Kachak in Serbia. And it's kind of like, I can't see through this, it's like an average, oh fuck it. It's just like an average town, I guess. And this is quite a nice room though. And it was only 60 quid. And it's got like a hot tub and like a sofa bed for all my many guests. And yeah, it's quite nice. Flat screen TV. Flat screen TV? Right. But yeah, it was quite an interesting experience. I'll talk more on the bike, but I just thought I would, in fact, let me flip me round. And then, but yeah, I just thought it's really interesting coming out here. Yes, there's not as much money, but in the town square, in the town centre, there's so much more of a family value vibe, and kids out playing in the street, everyone goes to town, and that was just like a Thursday night, random Thursday night. Fair enough, it's summer, but I just thought that was, it struck me as being much more of a better way to live than in the UK, where it's kind of like you might have Westfield shopping centre and you just go and live your materialistic life buying all your bullshit because you think that makes you happy. But actually this sort of, it's not like a historic town or anything fancy, but it was just really nice to see. Anyway, I'm in a much better mood today, thank God. I think I'm finally starting to de-baggage myself from everything going on back at home, and I feel a bit freer today. So, and also heading to Romania, which I really want to get to. So an Instagram friend gave me a little route to go, so I'm going to go and do that, and apparently there's a biker stop somewhere along the line. So I'm going to put this dramatic hairstyle into my helmet and get going. Thanks.
Good morning from the royal residence in Kachak, Serbia. Right, I feel better today. I feel good, actually. The weather is overcast, which I'm more than happy with, that's fine. I had a little reshuffle with the bike packing last night as well, because I was here quite early, so I didn't have much to do. So I've remounted these tool bags on the sides. I then tried to mount my water bottle thing there, but I couldn't figure it out, so I put it there. Fresh water. Also went through all of my waterproof gear and stuffed it right down the bottom of the bag because, hey, who's going to need that? And then as soon as I do, it's going to look like, it looks definitely like we're going to get some rain today. So fun times. So yeah, if you're passing, I mean the town is a very normal, I believe, normal Serbian town. Which is quite nice to stay in for a change, rather than these sort of like tourist hotspots, which you never really understand about the people. And it was interesting. It was nice to see that traditional family values still exist somewhere in the world. And it was not. I didn't stay for very long. I didn't really do much, but it was nice. Why has my sat nav decided to stop doing anything? Because it's a Garmin. I forgot. Cheers, boss. I met a nice man for breakfast. He was looking at my bike, and I was like, "You like the bike?" He said, "You like very much. My father has GS. I want GS." Am I allowed to go? I want to go, because that's the wrong way round the road, isn't it? I want to go left. Am I allowed to go? No. No matter what you are told about people in the world, it's normally bollocks. Like, oh, these Serbians, they're so close to Russians, and you know, there's pictures of Vladimir Putin around. Well, yeah, there is, but I think aren't they massively anti-NATO and all of that shit? Because didn't they get really fucked over? I think they did. I don't know the exact history of it. So they're right to be wary of these massive organisations that do absolutely fuck all. And it's also worth noting, as we're talking about massive organisations like the UN, for example, the UN actually were charged and blamed with 300 deaths in the Bosnian slaughter at Srebrenica. And what they did is they apparently, I learnt this from the museum I went to, okay, so I'm not listening to any crackpots on the internet because it was like an ethnic cleansing genocide, the militaries left only one route and pocket to go, which was this UN safe area, and so they all went there, and it was like literally shooting fish in a barrel, because then that was attacked and they were all fucking slaughtered. It's like 7,000-8,000 of them, and it's disgraceful. But hey, I'm glad we pay the UN loads of money, everyone does, to do fuck all, and NATO. Anyway, I don't really know, I don't know that much about it. I think I'm more informed than most, but I'm willing to learn. But all of these organisations, WHO, WEF, it's just a load of shit. Anyway, on to today. So, I think we'll probably get to the Romanian border today. There's a couple of little mountain rides, I think, or hilly rides anyway. I don't know where I'm staying yet. It's already 11:14. I should have left a bit earlier, but whatever. And I'm looking forward to going to Romania, mainly so I can get the internet back, because my roaming data carrier, which is EE, allows I get to use my data in Romania, but not in Serbia or Bosnia. Oh, and also here, if you're a smoker, you'll love it, because you can still smoke indoors, anywhere you want to smoke. Chuff away. I thought, for some reason, I thought that was like a global accepted policy, but it's not, is it? It's probably something to do with the EU. I'm not a smoker. I used to be. And even if I was smoking, I would probably still choose to sit outside just because it smells. So yeah, I'll let's get through this little towny bit. And look at that little, see, that's what I like, this little micro farms. That's what it should be, not hectares and hectares of the same crop. Everyone should have little, I think that's how we build resilience to food shortages, is everybody needs to have a small amount of food. Like they've got it right, honestly, they've got it right out here. Look at that, allotment there, right. If the fucking global supply chain goes to shit and inflation becomes unbearable and it's £59 for a carrot, you've got one in the garden, and you could probably sell it. Therefore, if everyone had carrots in the garden, the price of carrots would go down, and therefore inflation would be controlled. Oh, it's economics 101, guys. You get it, yeah? Yeah? What the fuck is that? But yeah, I feel good today. I feel like I'm slowly releasing. I think I've pushed through a wall of my fear, I guess, and I think that this is the country I was worried about the most, feeling the most sort of dangerous, but it's fine. And then you actually talk to people and they're like, oh cool, bikes, GS, brilliant. And then you're like, oh yeah, people just want the same shit as everywhere. They want to be friendly, most people, have fun, fall in love, and have a family. That's it. What's scary about that? Right, yeah, I think it's going to be a matter of when the rain hits, not if. But that's alright, we haven't had any rain. We had a little bit. I also quite like these bags down here as a reminder that I've got panniers on, because actually they're probably, if not exactly the same width, maybe 20 mil wider than the bike. So if that can fit through, I know my my booty can get in. Do I want some petrol? Got to stop overfilling. And I've got water, so I'm alright for that, in my newly placed water bottle holders, which hopefully should be a little bit cooler. And I've got a couple of nut bars. I like the way this guy's got can you see this? Big titted girls on his push handles. I like that, for God's sake. Oh, it's really derogatory to women. So what? Men, particularly lorry drivers, generally like big boobed bitches. What's wrong with that? Why does, and I'm not being a gayist here, but why is it acceptable to celebrate love? Like if I loved cock, I could go down the street dressed in a rainbow flag and saying I love cock so much, and you all need to respect and not only respect, encourage me to take cock. And that's okay. But if I like big tits, which I do, why don't I get to celebrate my sexual freedom and enjoy a nice fine pair of knockers? Huh? Why? And I don't give a shit. People can do whatever they want to their own bodies. I don't care. Enjoy it. Enjoy your life. Enjoy what you want to do. If you like having baby dolls' heads stuffed up your arsehole, enjoy it. That's absolutely fine. And I will never stop you from doing it. But please, just play the game fairly, because I like big tits. And, you know, we don't even get big tits in the newspaper anymore. And like grid girls and all of this stuff. So how can that sexual, which is, let's face it, the majority of sexual preference, isn't it? Heterosexual attractiveness, right? Particularly in motorsports. I wouldn't be allowed, like, it would be frowned upon to have a big bikini-titted girl as my grid person. But if I had some guy in leather chaps with like a studded jock strap on, everyone would be like, oh my god, that's so brave, we really respect you. And it would just, it's just fucking stupid, isn't it? It's whatever you like, but just please let the majority of society get on with enjoying big tits and big fat willies. If you're a girl and you like big fat willies, or even if you're a boy and like big fat willies, I don't care. Just fucking, basically, just let me enjoy breasts. Stop making me feel like I'm evil because I love women. There's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, after that hideous gammon rant, I'm going to go to the mountain. Fucking hell. So it's not you crashing, it's someone else overtaking. They love a bit of an overtake over here, especially on the solid whites. So we're just heading to Rudnik, and then I believe there's a mountain pass, well, like a hilly pass, and a biker cafe or something. And then from there it's another 30 odd K of nice roads to a historic place called Topoli, I think. And I tell you, oh fucking hell, I do that every time I reach to turn this camera on, it beeps the horn, and it's so embarrassing. Sorry love, sorry, I didn't mean to beep you, although I would give you a right good beeping. Might have to stop and put my windproof lining on for the first time ever, because it's a little chill bangs. So I presume this is a typical Serbian village. I can't even read it, like, I've got no chance if I... The bike is handling better. Not only did I move, arrange the bags to try and get a bit more weight forward, all the tools and stuff that I had, they were in the panniers. Now they're in like my little Touratech toolbox thing. So it's more central in the bike, and it just feels a lot better today. Maybe it's because I feel better. Oh. Car. What mode are we in? We're in dynamic. Yay! Holiday! Motorbikes! I'm gonna have to go back onto Insta and publicly thank the guy who gave me this route, because it's brilliant. I think I've taken a few wrong turns on it following the Garmin, but it's generally been pretty good. Dusty bin. You do feel it on the brakes, the weight of this thing. It's not the most confidence inspiring. She's so fat. I can feel them screaming. Man. Imagine if this road was in the UK. Not only would it be speed bumps every 10 seconds, but it would be absolutely full of people. That was pretty fucking good. Thank you, Serbia. Bravo. I think as long as you're respectful in the towns, we should be okay. No one else is respectful, honestly. There's like 40 mile an hour limits or whatever it is, and people just fucking fly through. Okay, so I think we are entering the Bordo now. I love just when you drive through the countryside, that's cool. You just have all these people, these farmers and all the wives or whatever, just sat in these little sheds, and they're just selling their wares, and they're just sat there all day, just reading the paper and shit, in these little shacks, just selling. If they've got apricots on their land, they sell apricots. If you drive past them on an apricot, go and get an apricot. It's the fundamental simplicity of life. There's these, if there is like a world crisis coming, which I think there is, these guys are going to be fucking fine. Like they're future proof, because they know how to sort their shit out. They all drive Mark 1, Mark 2 Golfs, so they can, they're speaking of the devil, there's one there, so they can go anywhere. There's petrol fucking everywhere. Wow, there's petrol everywhere. There's food everywhere. They're going to be fine, and they've got decent values. The Monastery of Pavlovac. Let's have a little stop, shall we? So there's petrol everywhere. It's like water. Oh. Weird. I couldn't find the centre, so I'm fucking off. Yeah, so I'm heading to a town on the border. The border is the Danube. I was correct the other day. The Danube, it does flow all the way. I could have followed basically that the whole way here, but that is on the border of Serbia. That is the border of Serbia and Romania. Now I'm trusting, I've chosen the yellow route on the sat-nav, which is probably going to be shit, but let's see. Yeah, and then we go to Veliko Gradište, and apparently that's quite a nice town, and we can look over the Danube. Then we follow that down and then cross over the border in what's it called, Kolvako, something like that. So yeah, let's get on. I forgot to put my fucking ding dong on. Oh look, I've done 5,000 kilometers on this bike now. It's not bad, is it? In 3 weeks. Everyone's got these little tractors, really old rusty tractors. Look at that, that's classic, isn't it? Yeah, it's a different way of life, and actually probably quite a good one, a fulfilling, satisfying one. I'm sure it's fucking hard, like in the winters out here. I reckon it's horrific. Oh yeah. Breathe it in. I really feel like I've pushed through a wall today, or yesterday, and I just feel so much more grounded, even to the point where I'm now, whereas a couple of days ago I was like, I'm gonna just like quickly get it done, go to Romania and then fuck off home. Now I'm like, well, why am I going to go home? I may carry on. I may go to the Black Sea. Constanta, I think, is the coastal town in Romania, and from there I'm pretty much in Turkey. I mean, it's not far. I could do that in a day, probably. Hard day. Anyway, let's see. But I do want to take a picture, and this looks pretty cool in Serbian. Wow. Well, I don't know what village we're in, but I need to stop for a little drinky.
Right, so welcome to Brasov in Romania, on the sort of middle to east side of Romania. I've just gone through all my footage of Romania and some of Serbia, and the audio on the GoPro is is screwed from halfway through Serbia. So that's massively disappointing. So this is probably, I don't know how it's going to work in the edit, but I guess I'm telling you this now so then I can figure out some way. I mean, the video footage is fine, but it's such a shame. All the transfiguration stuff ruined. I saw bears ruined. So anyway, I'm just dealing with that utter disappointment today. What's meant to be is meant to be. That's the only comfort I can try and muster, is that stuff just wasn't meant to be said, and that's sometimes the only course of action you've got. As I stand in my pants.